Welcome back to Ride and Raise. This is part 2 of our study called Where Are the Fear and Honor? And we're in Malachi 1, 6 through 14. Today we're actually looking at verses 6 through 8. And this little section is entitled God is the Father and Master. So, God begins this first section with a proverb. A son honors his father, and a servant his master. This is a statement on how human society normally functions. A son honors his father, and this speaks first of necessity of fathers. There should be fathers there. They're not donators of genetic material, but they are someone to whom honor is due. I've never met a man that did not think that he should give honor to his father, even if he was a scoundrel, even if the father was a scoundrel and he was absent and he was nowhere to be found. I don't think I've ever met anyone who said, well, yeah, there is some honor there that's due. Most people want to be able to give honor to their father, even if their father is disrespectful, doesn't deserve respect. Most people want to be able to do that. They would love to have a father that they could honor. So it's kind of woven into our very nature. It's kind of what God has written on our hearts, and that desire to honor a father. Some men choose to rebel against their fathers and the honor that is due them, but they choose to do this. They rebel against what they know to be right. Now, the stats show that those without a father to show honor to struggle with all kinds of problems. Even though our culture is trying to throw the concept of fatherhood into the trash heap, the ramifications of doing so are very clear. We fail as a society when we fail to honor fathers. Also, in society, masters will be honored by their servants. Those who are in authority command a certain honor. When this honor is not given by their subordinates, chaos ensues. Even those that are pushing the Marxist agenda these days with their cries of inequality know that someone or a group will always have authority over another. That's not an argument. No one argues that there could be never any authority, that everyone would be completely equal in authority. That doesn't make sense. Society would not function. The question is just which group is going to be an authority? Who has the authority? Well, God uses this very biblical argumentation style of the lesser to the greater here. He argues that if human fathers and masters receive honor and fear, then he, being a father and master, should receive honor and fear as well. God being a father was not a concept for them. Back in the wilderness wanderings, Moses reminded the people of the fact, do you thus repay the Lord, you foolish and senseless people? Is not he your father who created you, who made you and established you? So this is not just an abstract idea. This is not a new concept for them either. This is a fact that they know. God specifically targets the priest in this rebuke here, though the whole nation needed to pay attention because as the priest went, so did the nation. The priest countered God's rebuke. How we would despise your name. And so they plead ignorance. They are unaware of how they have not honored and feared God, or they are, and they're just pretending to be ignorant. They don't know how they despise God's name. Well, God points to a specific way that they've dishonored him by offering polluted food upon my altar. Again, they plead ignorance. Well, how have we polluted you? And again, God offers a specific example by saying that the Lord's table may be despised. Before they have an opportunity to respond, he explains. They are offering blame. They're offering lame and blind animal sacrifices. Now they know that this is evil. It's against the very command of God. In order to worship God, you cannot bring any old animal for sacrifice. It had to be perfect without spot or blemish. These priests are allowing the people to do evil by bringing some raggedy old animals for the sacrifice. God only accepts worship on his terms, not ours. We can't bring whatever we want to God, call it worship, and assume he will honor it. God has defined worship, and it must be done according to what he says. God gives them another lesser to greater argument. He says, present that to your governor. Will he accept you or show you favor? If your human governor would not accept the gift of a messed up animal, what makes you think I would? Am I lesser than your governor in your eyes? How we worship God matters. Just because we're Christians doesn't change that. We're all priests before God. That's what Hebrews tells us. What we give to God in worship must align with what we asked for, or it will not be accepted, or what he asked for, or it will not be accepted by him. Nothing has changed about that because God has not changed. Does he want half-hearted, worship? Is that what he wants? It's good enough. Is God okay with your trash worship? Does he want just your emotions, your emotionalism? Oh, you feel good. Okay, that's worship. Does he say that anywhere in Scripture? I just want you to feel good, and that'll equal worship. I don't see that anywhere in the Bible. Does he want self-centeredness, the man-centered I, it's all about me? Worship is all about me? I don't see that anywhere in Scripture. No, he wants your heart, soul, mind, and strength. But instead, the priests of Malachi's days, much like many pastors of our day, say, take your garbage worship and entreat the favor of God that he may be gracious to us. Take the leftovers of your life and give that to God. Don't give him first, just whatever you have left over. After sports and after all your clubs that you do, after your family, after your friends, after all the activities that you do, then give that to God, and he'll be good with that. God says, with such a gift from your hand, will he show favor to any of you? Wow. Now, the preachers and the people are in trouble because they are just giving garbage worship to God. But there's something that the priests ought to have done, or anyone else at all should have done. And that's what he tells us next in verses 10 through 11. So come back next time, and we'll take a look at that.